Dear City Councillor Renate Brauner, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as Secretary General of the Foreign Ministry, I'm glad to welcome you here in Vienna to the Conference on Public Governance dealing with public administration reform challenges in the Western Balkan countries and the Danube region. Of course, for us as well, it's somehow a different day or sad day after yesterday. We wish all the best to our Hungarian and friends from Iceland in the Foreign Ministry, and I'm still the captain of the Foreign Ministry team. We try to see it positively. We think that at least the Euro is bringing people together. Football brings people together, is connecting people, and Goran Svilanovic knows exactly what I'm talking about, because we were playing together last year at the Balkan Conference. We were the initiators of the football game at the Balkan Conference, and I think also the most important dimension there was that we connected, that we got people together from an area where they maybe sometimes have not so easy talks and dialogues. So now, almost 1 year after the Vienna Western Balkan Summit, this conference has now the possibility and gives us the opportunity to assess the progress that has been made since and to discuss the way forward. It goes without saying that the Western Balkans are and remain a key foreign policy priority for Austria. I'm therefore also very glad to see that the dynamic of the reform process in the region has improved in the past years clearly. An important initiative in that respect is particularly the Berlin process that has contributed considerably to this new dynamic with, I think, two main aims. First, to foster regional cooperation in key areas such as connectivity, the economy, or youth exchange. And second, to support the countries of the Western Balkans in their reform process and on their path towards the EU. The yearly summits of the Berlin process not only put the Western Balkans on the agenda, but also offer a valuable stage for the Western Balkan Six to show their progress. This has led to a new and positive atmosphere and to tangible results. Examples of these results are the signing of two border agreements in the margins of the Vienna summit in August 2016, as well as the agreement on establishing the Regional Youth Cooperation Office. Well, needless to say also, the countries of the Berlin process remain engaged in the months between the summits. I think good preparation of the summit in Vienna was somehow crucial for the success of this summit. Austria, for example, has organized a series of high-profile conferences in the past months. Among others, these include a conference on the solution of bilateral disputes in April, a conference on dual education in May, and today's conference on public administration reform. Our aim is to move the issues forward in each key area and to find solutions which our French partners then can further build on their summit in Paris on the 4th of July. Let me now focus on today's topic, governance. Good governance matters. It has a significant impact on the performance of public institutions and is therefore essential for building trust in governments. It also allows these governments to function more effectively, helping them implement their agenda and deliver much-needed structural reforms. A well-functioning public administration requires a professional civil service and efficient procedures for policymaking and the drafting of good legislation. It is also important to make sure that public institutions remain accountable to the citizens they are meant to serve. The approach Fundamentals First, launched by the European Commission in 2014, provides us with a very useful framework for approaching the issue of establishing good government. It covers all key reform areas, offering practical suggestions on how to build capacity and strengthen procedures, and it provides a unique benchmark for reformers when designing and implementing their own public administration reforms. This framework has become instrumental in the policy dialogue between the EU enlargement countries and the European Commission. I can also say without hesitation that public administration reform has become increasingly important within the European Union itself. For enlargement countries, however, I think it is particularly vital because of its direct relevance for meeting the accession criteria. It is also essential to allowing these countries to cope with the increased responsibilities linked to accession and greatly contributes to improving the business environment and investment climate. I'm particularly honored to see such strong support from ministers and the top administrative level. I hope that this event again will encourage you to further make good public governance an essential part of your national policy agenda in your respective countries. We of course all know that the process of translating good ideas into policies, laws and regulations is long and often very complex. This is especially true in a period of prolonged economic and financial difficulties. It is, I think, nevertheless vital to start this process as early as possible. Knowing where we want to go and what we want to get out of reforms is of course a crucial first step. Fortunately, we now also have a very concrete tool to help us in this regard, the principles of public administration. Citizens expect governments to deliver on their promises. In order to do that, it is crucial to understand whether an administration is equipped with the right governance tools and whether there is the capacity to design, implement and evaluate good policies. The European Union has created very efficient instruments for cooperation between public administrations of EU member states and partner countries. The aim is to improve the capacity of public administrations by establishing direct, on-the-ground cooperation. Thanks to the two instruments of twinning and TAIEX, peer-to-peer learning and cooperation between public administrations has become common practice. Through these instruments, we strive to share good practices developed within the EU member states and foster long-term relationships between the administrations of different regions. Let me also mention that accordingly to the feedback I received, these methods of assistance are appreciated by both sides, and the benefit is also mutual, and it is important that we will continue learning from each other. In this context, I'm very proud that the Austrian public administration and experts are among the top providers of this form of assistance. Over 370 projects in the Western Balkans and the European neighborhood have been implemented with Austrian input. I would like to encourage you to make more use of these instruments, which have proven to be worth it. When talking about drivers for EU accessions, one should also mention the macro-regional strategies of the EU. Austria takes part in the macro-regional strategy for the Danube region, which provides a further platform for us to address common challenges together. As the scope of these challenges often go beyond the borders of the EU strategy of the Danube region also wisely includes 5 non-EU countries, namely Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Ukraine, and Moldova. The name of the game is to foster closer cooperation and allow for smarter use of existing resources. Vienna takes on a key role in this respect as coordinator of the priority area, stepping up institutional capacity and cooperation of the EU strategy of the Danube region. It is also in this context that the Austrian Association of Towns and Cities, in cooperation with the KDZ Center for Public Administration Research, is responsible for the implementation of the program Capacity Building for the Countries of the Western Balkans and the Republic of Moldova. The initiative, by the name of BASIT, which stands for Building Administrative Capacity in the Danube region, Western Balkans and Moldova, is also part of this program and is funded by the Austrian Development Agency. It is in that framework that today's event is taking place. I would like to thank all involved parties for organizing this important conference, especially our host today, the City of Vienna and the City Councillor, Renate Brauner, which is also coordinating the priority area coordinators 10 of the EU strategy for the Danube region. Let me now, closing maybe with famous words of Jean Monnet, who said, nothing is possible without individuals, but nothing lasts without institutions. So I wish you all the best for this conference, fruitful discussion, and I would like to hand over now to Goran Svilanovic, the Secretary General of the Regional Cooperation Council. Thank you.